Buenos días, damas y caballeros. Bienvenidos al Campo Lealtad del Parque La Loma en Tepic, Nayarit, México. Para el partido número 36 de la segunda edición de la Copa Mundial Juvenil de Béisbol 5 de la Confederación Mundial de Béisbol y Softball entre la selección de México y la selección de Kenia. Y representando al equipo visitante de México, los jugadores titulares son, con el número 13, Axel Adrián con el número 6, Samuel Odieki. La oficial de home plate, Caridad Tey Quiñones Pedrazo, de Cuba. La oficial de primera base, Alessia Cicconi, de Italia. El oficial de segunda base, Brian Manyeki, de Kenia. El oficial de tercera base, Rubén Baena, de México. Y el oficial de mesa, Enrique Arón de León Maldonado, de México. Damas y caballeros, de igual manera les pedimos que nos pongamos de pie, quítense el sombrero y guarden silencio para escuchar las notas del himno nacional de México. Y de igual manera, les pedimos su respeto y silencio para escuchar el himno de Kenia. Agradecemos su respeto.
Bienvenido, welcome back to Parque La Loma in Tepic, Nayarit, Mexico, as we continue the quarterfinal playoffs in this WBSC Youth Baseball 5 World Cup. Craig Durham, happy to see you on this beautiful Friday afternoon, and a nice crowd on hand to see the host nation, Mexico, take on Kenya. The winner of this game will move into the semifinals, which will be played later today. And then tomorrow, just 2 medal games, the bronze medal game and the silver medal, or rather the gold medal game. If you win this game, then you're guaranteed a spot in one of those 2 medal games. And for Mexico, who took home the bronze 2 years ago at the Youth Baseball 5 World Cup, this is one where they really want to take care of business, but it's not going to be easy against a Kenya team that has shown they belong with the best of them here in Nayarit. That's a look at Kenya's roster, not the starting lineup. You just saw Mexico's roster a moment ago. I think these are 2 of the most impressive teams in the tournament, quite frankly. And in Mexico's case, maybe that's not a surprise. Again, coming off a bronze medal a few years ago, and a team that's been consistently participating in Baseball 5 World Cups, both at the senior and youth level. As you see, our international officiating crew featuring officials from Cuba, Italy, Kenya, and Mexico. But in the case of Kenya, this is a great place to be among the last 8 teams with a chance to earn a medal. And with no further ado, we begin. Axel Gonzalez leading off for Mexico. And he's going to race towards second base, be in safely. And get the crowd going too. He's working the crowd. This is one of the more dynamic players we've seen all week. A very impressive fielder. Usually plays the shortstop position. And right there shows you his speed, his offensive prowess. As Ochoa steps in. And Ochoa rips it off the foot. We don't see a lot of those. Defensively, using the left foot there to stop it. Nicely done by Ivan. That doesn't allow the run to score, but already something cooking for Mexico here. Second and third, none out. Is that a tag? Out at first. Was it a double play? No, Ochoa, good job avoiding the tag. Oh yeah, no, the call comes from second base official Brian Maniecki, and that was a double play. I thought so in real time. There's the tag on the leg, the throw to first. Heck of a play by Peter. Wow, fantastic stuff from Kenya's defense. That's what we're talking about when we say they belong in the conversation among the best teams here this week. And that ball short of the no-hit line. So what was looking like it could be a big inning for Mexico, instead, just a 1-run top of the first. We say just a 1-run top of the first. That's still where you want to be. You don't want to come away empty-handed when you have the opportunity to put pressure on your opponent. We'll see Kenya now getting to work on offense. Time called briefly here as the officials at the scorers table have their hands raised. Gives us time to talk about Kenya's results so far. They had the hardest start of anybody. They had to face Cuba in the defending world champion Cuba's first game. 13-2 and 12-2. Those were the scores in sets numbers 1 and 2. Kenya, I thought, played better than those scores indicate. And then they bounced back and beat Korea in straight sets, 7-2 and 8-1. They beat Spain to earn their way into this quarterfinal bracket. That was an impressive win yesterday over Spain, especially when you consider that Kenya dropped the first set. Spain won the first set of that matchup 4-0. But then Kenya 12-2 and 7-1. Really did some fine work to come from behind and win. Out at first, throw across the diamond, double play. Both teams turning really impressive double plays here in the first inning. Frias with the strong, accurate throw. And going to the ground, Gonzalez shows off the baseball 5 ball. Wow, have we seen some defense already as Valentine Mukoya steps in for Kenya. Wearing the red jerseys. I like these red jerseys for Kenya, and that was a fair ball for Valentine. Well placed. And so the first inning will continue. That's where that play at third becomes huge. Otherwise, that's going to tie the game. Peter, who made the great double play in the top of the first inning, up now. He hits it hard, but it's caught. No problem. Valenzuela gets the congratulations from her teammates. That ball was really smashed. She had no trouble squeezing it. And I think if you're watching at home, if you've never played Baseball 5, you don't realize just how hard it is to make that catch. The Baseball 5 ball is designed to bounce. And that doesn't make it easy for fielders, especially when it's coming at you with such force. Now Frias leading off. She'll try Valentine at third. Gets a very good bounce there as this top of the second inning is underway. Back to the top of the lineup. Here's Gonzalez. Frias was the only person who did not come up for Mexico in the first inning. And in case you're brand new to Baseball 5, a requirement that there be at least 2 players from each gender in the lineup. Frias, you see, safe at second on the Gonzalez single. And now Ochoa. Good move him over ball, and in the end it's going to be a hit too. Bases loaded for Mexico. They've brought the noisemakers along with the big crowd. Could it be 2? Oh, good job just salvaging the 1 out at second base. Oh, all the way home comes Gonzalez. A lot of times a player will stand between third and home to just draw a throw. In that case, Gonzalez came all the way. Mexico not done there. They keep moving, and they have a 3-0 lead with 1 out in the top of the third inning. I think this team really draws a lot of energy from the crowd. We picked up on that on opening night when they had a perfect game against the Syria team of the Azraq defending world champions, and Lithuania, one of the rising programs in Europe. Lithuania gave Cuba all they could handle, especially in the second set, but Cuba did win it in back-to-back sets. Safe at first. Another run, 4-0. Other quarterfinal action from earlier today. Chinese Taipei beat Japan in straight sets. And Venezuela was able to advance to the semifinal round as well with a win. Frias did not clear the line. And so she's out. Frias has a lot of experience on the world stage in Baseball 5. She was part of Mexico's WBSC Baseball 5 World Cup team last year in Hong Kong, China. That was not a Youth World Cup. That was just World Cup, period. Gonzalez a blast. Nice catch made at third. And the crowd loves that too. You know, they are cheering for Mexico, but they're always supporting both teams because that's part of the nature of Baseball 5. It's not one of these where you hate your opponent games. This is a game built around love and mutual respect. And we've seen that embodied by players on both teams, by coaches on both teams, and I say that within a game, but really all 14 competing nations and the fans. Maybe an opportunity there missed to stretch that into a double. A really hard hit ball. Yvonne Caiga is on. And now it's going to be Samuel Onsongo. To the second base side, they get the lead runner of the force out. Safe at first on the back end of that one. Off the wall on a bounce. The sidearm toss to second, not in time. The winner of this game, again, will be joining Cuba, Venezuela, and Chinese Taipei in the semifinals. 3 of the 4 teams that will be in the medal games tomorrow night have been decided. Hard hit. Pass Frias at first, and Kenya on the move here in the bottom of the second. Elijah Wanjiko, the coach of the Kenya team, has done a great job preparing this group for this moment. And they score as the second out is recorded. They get on the board, 4-1. And if you're Mexico, you're okay giving up the 1, but you really want to keep the runner on third. It's Cliff on third. That ball short of the line. Yvonne knew it. She dropped her head as soon as it bounced. Short in the no-hit zone. And the side is retired. So only 1 for Kenya in the top, or in the bottom of the second. A pause to tie the shoe. It's about one of the only reasons a Baseball 5 game ever stops is for a player to tie their shoes. It's built around fast-paced action, non-stop action. Ochoa blasting it past Valentine, and then it slips through the hands at first. So an extra base for Ochoa. You don't often see that. That's why the frustration from Cliff. Now it's Manuel Armenta. The team huddling together, but that is not a part of the rules here. Each team does have one timeout, but the coach needs to call it. You can't just, as a group, decide to collectively gather in the center of the court. Nice job moving the runner. And good coverage of the plate there. As far as strategy goes, if you're trying to learn how to best plan a Baseball 5 defensive scheme, I think one of the most important considerations is who goes to cover home plate when there's a runner on second or third. Even sometimes when there's a runner on first, you need to know who's going to get there and be ready to receive a throw at the dish. More good work by Mexico. Finding the lanes, finding the spots where they can sneak it by the Kenya defensive alignment. Now Frias. Caught, left side. Back to first goes Valenzuela. And Gonzalez with 2 outs and 1 on will become the hitter. Almost halfway through the opening set. It's a best-of-3 series. We haven't had a whole lot of games go the distance in terms of being all 3 sets. Wow, is that a hard hit ball off Ivan? Another one off the pitcher's position, throw to first, almost in time. It didn't look like Ochoa was really sprinting up that first base line. I think he saw the initial bobble and thought he had time. There's the bobble, and that is not 110% speed from Ochoa. It was just barely enough to get there. There's a flip to third for a force out. And that ends the inning. Mexico leading 5-1. A little in-game coaching from Jesus Sandoval and Tania Gonzalez, the coaching staff for Mexico. They have their team very well prepared. That one slips off the fingertips of Valenzuela. As the game continues to evolve, we continue to see changes in the way that teams operate defensively, the way they build the lineup, and the way that they manage personnel in-game. How do they alternate? How do they rotate in substitutions if they need to? Out at second, the call from Brian Maniecki. Pretty nice play right there. Maybe you noticed that Axel Gonzalez, the shortstop position for Mexico, he didn't have that ball for even a whole second. He just picked it up and let it go as quickly. Now a throw that goes high and out of play. Missed opportunity there for Valenzuela. She could have made the catch, but a couple now have just rolled off the fingertips. And Kenya, despite falling behind early, not going away. They are putting the pressure on here. Second and third with 1 out. Mwambo sends it rattling around up the middle. Throw to second, safe. That was not a force play. Gonzalez thought he made the tag. So did the entire crowd. And boy, the crowd is letting Brian Maniecki hear about it. You be the judge. There's the run scoring. That was never in doubt. The foot was on the base before the tag. That's a good call. Usually is. These officials are so well prepared. Throw comes home. Now to third. Out there. Waited a second before he made the call. Maybe wanted to make sure he had it right. Kenya scoring again. I think Mexico is trying to say that Valenzuela caught it on the fly. There's a lot to look at here. We'll get some replays pulled up for you in a moment. That one at third was really close, but I do think the tag was put on in time. Well, we might not have time for the replay now. Onsongo, the hitter, with 2 away, and they're going to continue and test Valenzuela. She made some web gems last night, but right now having a little trouble squeezing it. So the tying run is on for Kenya in the bottom of the third. The Mexico crowd trying to make some noise, trying to will their team to victory. Or at least first things first, will their team out of this third inning, and that they've done. Nice job by Armenta. More and more often, we're seeing players use the ball to touch the base, which I think is a neat strategy, so long as you don't get stepped on. We've seen it more at first base. Sometimes players go down low to get it, and then instead of popping up and running to the bag, they extend the arm, they dive on the belly, and they touch that base for the out. Runner left early there, that's the call. Valenzuela was out of the box before the ball was in play. Got to be careful of that as a hitter. Now it's Frias. High throw. A lot of the throws have been high from both teams. And Cliff, he's a particularly tall first baseman. Went up to try and corral that one. Did knock it down, kept it in the playing surface. Man, what a split there from Frias. She plays first base for Mexico. She went full split right there. Do not try that at home. After giving up 2 runs in the bottom of the third, Mexico looking for an answer here in the top of the fourth. Now they have them loaded. I think even if that catch is made, the runner was going to be safe. That scoring 1 might score 2. It will. And it's going to clear the bases. Armenta with the double that drives in 3, and Mexico's lead goes up to 5, 8-3. The very rare bases clearing double. Tough defensive inning for Kenya after they scored those 2 in the bottom of the third. They have given a whole handful back. Good recovery. Ivan did not make the initial grab, but stuck with it. I think one thing we're seeing in this tournament is just how hard this is, how exhausting this game is to play. Sometimes twice a day. This now the 3rd day in a row that teams are playing 2 games a day. This is the first one for each of these 2 teams today. Oh, the snag up the middle. How about it, Samuel Onsongo? Nifty play, the one-hand squeeze. Fully extended. And you might think, oh, I could do that, but I'm telling you, get out there and feel how hard it is to catch a hard-hit baseball 5 ball. That is one of the most difficult plays you can make. And we'll forget about the fact that that ball might have gone off the wall or over the wall, so Onsongo didn't have to catch it because, as we know, if the ball hits the wall on the fly or if it goes over the wall, it's also an out. But you see how quickly it comes at you. You don't always have time to make that calculation. It's a game that relies a lot on instinct. And right there, the instinct was, I'm going to make this grab. And same thing from Valenzuela, making the instinctive play at third base, which is nice because, as we were saying, a little trouble for Valenzuela in the bottom of the third. She was all over that one. And there's one gone. Bottom of the fourth of this 5-inning first set. Kenya's only loss so far in the tournament against Cuba. And they have good company there. Everybody who's played Cuba has lost so far in this tournament. This is Yvonne Caiga. Oh, the throw to second is in time. I probably would have gone to first with that ball. Good stretch from Gonzalez. Nice play. Two down. Rattles around a bit. Two on, two out. Kenya down by 5 in the bottom of the fourth. You need to get a couple here. They try third base. Safe. With a run coming in, maybe another. Trying to force a throw. There's the throw. The runner breaks for home and scores. Mexico took the bait. Perfect base running from Kenya. They wanted to draw that throw to second base, and they did. If you're Mexico, you just want to put that ball in your pocket. Let them have second base. There's 2 outs in the inning, so you can forget about the base runners in a sense. Now a pop fly caught at second. And it'll be a 3-run game going into the 5th. Mexico, yeah, they're playing in front of the home crowd. Yeah, we're in Mexico, but they are the visitors. Kenya trying to pull off the upset here. Mexico's road to this quarterfinal playoff matchup has been a little smoother than Kenya's, though they got off to a really bad start. We can say that without, trying to insult anybody, because I think they were just maybe over-prepared, a little over-eager. They took the court on Wednesday night against Lithuania and fell behind 10-0 in the first set. And I thought, wow, this Lithuania team's so good, and I was expecting more from Mexico. Well, Mexico only allowed a run in each of the next 2 sets, winning them both. And so they came from behind. That was one of the most exciting 3-set matches we've had at the tournament. And then later that night, Mexico was able to beat Syria in straight sets, including the perfect first set in which they did not allow a base runner. Only time that's happened in a set in this tournament. Yesterday, Mexico came back and beat Tunisia 12-0 and 13-2 before they won their game in the knockout round over Korea. Mexico has only lost 1 set in the tournament, and it was the very first set they played. That one popped across the line, safe at first. The throw was a little bit high. Oliva Frias with the catch, and then the throw to third. Kenya's looking for a double play. Mexico thought they tagged and scored. Let's see the replay and see when the runner took off. It could have been a tag up. Oh, it was let's see here. There's the catch. And then the throw went to third. They're going to say the runner waited until the ball was caught before they ran, and they tagged up and scored, and that's like regular baseball and softball. It's not very common, but it does happen. It takes really alert base running. As a runner, you have to be careful not to leave too early because then it's a double play, but if you time it right, it's a good way to add a run. That's a really nice ball from Ochoa. One run scores and two. One of the best areas to hit the ball right up the middle because then you can get it bouncing off the fence a couple of times. Allows a greater opportunity for your runners to score. Driven on the ground, safe at third. The lead goes up to 6 for Mexico at 11-5. Oh, that was a pretty hard throw from a tough angle. It bounced off Valentine's left hand. Not a particularly hard hit ball, but the medical staff's going to go have a look at Peter, who's on his back. Peter Mwambo, who we just saw. Watch how hard he throws this ball. You hope he didn't hurt himself throwing it so hard. But he does look like he's favoring that right arm. He absolutely whipped that thing. And the training staff, the medical staff, is working on that right arm. It was kind of a violent throwing motion. But he's up. Not sure he's going to stay in the game. Yeah, I think he will. Frias to second. The catch made, but a nice big lead for Mexico going to the bottom of the fifth. It is 12-5. If Mexico wins this set, they'll be one set away from guaranteed placement in one of the two medal games that'll be played tomorrow night. The bronze medal game and gold medal game back-to-back to close out this tournament. Peter's still feeling some discomfort in that right arm. He's set to lead off here. He's getting the magic spray. It's a game that's pretty tough on the body. You think, okay, it's a kid's game, it's all fun and easy, but it's really not easy, especially when it's played at this high level. Well, still plenty of power in that right arm, leading off with a smash. Sometimes you can hear it, and when you hear that noise, you'd realize the hitter got all of it. Valenzuela with good reaction time just to get her arm up and touch it, but she couldn't squeeze it. I think Kenya might keep working third base until Valenzuela is able to record an out, though the job is going to get easier for her here, because now if she knocks it down, she can just take it to third base for the force out. The crowd trying to get Mexico 3 more outs. There's one of them. Well played by Frias. Notice how she got the foot on the bag before she'd even picked up the ball. The court awareness level very high. And now to first for the out. Run scores, and another will come home. Probably a throw that didn't have to be made. 12-7. If Kenya had more time, you'd like their chances of a comeback better, but they need to score 5, and they can't afford a single out. Valenzuela the drop, the pickup, throw to first in time. Mexico wins the first set, 12-7 the score. We'll take a break and come back with second set action. There's that split again at first base. Congratulations to Mexico. We'll see if Kenya can force a third set in just a moment. Okay, we're ready to begin again. Back to 0-0 on the scoreboard, and Mexico, a leadoff base runner in the second set. They won the first set 12-7. Already a different look to the lineup. Surprised to see Gonzalez go to the bench, though. That's the same rotation we saw last night. And Ochoa drives it through the wickets of Valentine. So 2 on, nobody out. Can Mexico pull away early here in set 2? Over on field 2, meanwhile, Korea's playing Syria. That is in the placement round. Nobody home for Kenya. Jesus Espinosa scoring from second base. Notice at the top of your screen, nobody at home plate for Ida to throw it to. Tries to win the race, but no catching Espinosa. Very good base running. Now a bounce to first, they get the out, the run scores. Base is empty with 2 away. Mia Franco will be the hitter here. Franco, 1 hop to short, and the hop across the diamond for the out. Good defense from Kenya. Winner of this one will play in the semifinals later today. Our semifinal game times. And this is all, a moving target, TBD. But it looks like our semifinal game times are going to be 4:30 local time, just over 2 hours from now, and 7 p.m. local time. Kenya trying to match Mexico with a fast start here in the first. First 2 batters reaching for both teams. And Kenya could come back here. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see Kenya win this second set and force a tiebreaker, force a third set. Nice play there to move the runners. First appearance in a Youth Baseball 5 World Cup for Kenya. For Mexico, they are looking to get to the medal stage for the second time in as many tries. They finished 3rd in the first ever Youth Baseball 5 World Cup, which took place in 2023 in Turkey. They beat the host nation. They beat Turkey to claim the bronze after Cuba and France went for gold, and Cuba beat France for the gold medal. Ground ball to short, out there, relay to first, safe, and that allows the run to score. Every play at first base is a close play. Alessia Ciccone is our first base umpire for this one. She had a good look at that. Now 1 hopper, nice pickup by Valenzuela. And the side retired, but Kenya pulls even. Recapping some of the scores from earlier today. Spain beat Syria in the placement round. Venezuela beat Turkey in the quarterfinal playoff. There was an intriguing matchup with Tunisia and Korea. Tunisia won in straight sets, 7-0 and 11-5. So the struggles for Korea continues. They got to be the best team without a win at this tournament. They've had a really rough go of it in terms of the wins and losses. Cuba beat Lithuania in straight sets to advance to the medal round. Cuba beat Lithuania 10-1 in the first, 8-5 in the second. Lithuania was tied with Cuba late in that second set before the defending world champions pulled away. France and Puerto Rico in the placement round played a good one. France won the first set by 10, but in the second set, Puerto Rico was right there, 6-5 the final score. And as we told you, Korea is playing Syria right now, and they're winning in the first set. And here in the second set, 2-2, with 2 aboard and 1 out. Takes a high hop. Base is going to be loaded here. Franco the batter. Good job, teammate helping out teammate there. You don't see that very often where, watch this, it hits the first baseman, pops up in the air, second baseman comes from behind, makes the grab, then raced home, almost made it a double play, chasing the runner back to third. If Valentine had been able to squeeze that ball before applying the tag, might have been enough to get the out. Instead, another run comes across on this next ball in play, and it's 4-2. Mexico ahead. Not sure what they're looking for here. I think Kenya was hoping to have called timeout before the officials gave them the timeout. Our umpiring crew, our officiating crew, with officials from Italy, Mexico, Cuba, and Kenya. They've done an outstanding job. That's just in this game. There's other countries represented, but the crew here has done a great job. They'll all get together to talk about this. And if you're a coach, that's really all you can ask for. Very rare is the call that gets overturned. Looking ahead to what's going to happen on field 2, Spain and Tunisia will play. And then one of the highly anticipated semifinal matchups, Chinese Taipei and Venezuela. That's going to start in 2 hours. The winner of that one in the gold medal game tomorrow night. The loser will play in the bronze medal game. Japan and Turkey now part of the placement round. They'll play on field 2, and that's going to be a really entertaining contest. 2 more games to determine who plays for gold and who plays for bronze. Lithuania will, meanwhile, play the loser of this one in the placement round. Cuba awaits the winner. Could be Cuba and Mexico. The good communication, everybody content with the way things stand. Mexico really adept at taking that extra base. Slow roller. That hard ball coming from short. I think Samuel has one of the hardest, or Peter rather, has one of the hardest throws in the tournament. And sometimes that can work against you. It makes it really hard for your first baseman to handle. And now he's going to bounce it, and that's an easier ball at first, but from 2-2 to 6-2, it's a 4-run top of the second for Mexico. That ball was awfully close to the line on the 3-meter zone. It did clear it. Mexico's fans continue to be a very supportive bunch. That was a great ball up the first base line, meanwhile, for Valentine, who's going to wind up at second. I like watching the reactions of the fans in attendance, and I'm starting to recognize faces, people coming back day after day. But what I like seeing is when they have these light bulb moments where suddenly it all makes sense. It clicks. Not just the basic rules of Baseball 5, but the strategy involved. Peter's in a lot of pain. He went down, you saw him drop to his knees after being retired there. Ida gets it to third, picked up by Valenzuela. And now a throw to second. Oh, Onsongo missed a chance to score there. He'd given up on the play before the throw went to second. So when that ball went to second base, Kenya started screaming for Onsongo to run, but he just didn't get going in time. Missed the cue. He'll come home now, but the throw is safe at first. Look at this throw. Oh! And the catch, too. That was a great one-handed catch just off the base. And Kenya scores another. 6-4, the team's trading bunches of runs in the early going. You get a good indication from the first set whether or not it's going to be a high-scoring or a low-scoring game. All the indications after the first set was that we've got a high-scoring couple of teams on our hands, and that's not changing. Nice play, though. It doesn't mean that the defense isn't good. It's just the way they're playing this particular game. And there's the nice one-handed grab. Third inning begins with a line drive. Was that caught? It looked like it was caught over at short. They say it touched the court. That's a tough one to tell. You'd really have to slow that down. And there's a lot of reasons why there's no instant replay in Baseball 5. But I think the number one reason, this is just my opinion, is that it would greatly slow down the pace of play, which is kind of counter to the origin of Baseball 5, the stated purpose of Baseball 5 to be a fast and dynamic game. You don't want things to get slowed down. And I don't really hear a whole lot of people clamoring for it either. I think everybody's okay with the way that this game gets played without the aid of replay. Nice job getting the out at second. A lot happened on that play. Runner at first was safe. Runner who had started on second scored. And may have been a minor altercation there at second base. That tag was there, we'll say that. And the play continues. All the Mexico players having a big laugh right in front of me at the expense of Jesus Espinosa. 2 outs now. Mexico up by 3 in the top of the third. Pops up in the air and over the fence. That is not going to be an extra base because it wasn't an error. Watch this. There's the pop-up and just enough on the bounce to clear the wall. It's not like a ground rule double in baseball or softball where everybody moves ahead one base. That only happens in the case of a defensive error, which we will not see right there. Good defense from Kenya. And it's 7-4. Another close one. One hopper left side. Underhand play, not going to get an out. It's a cool breeze, by the way, blowing across the field. It's been an unusual day in terms of the weather here at Parque La Loma. We've had sun, we've had rain, we've had heat, we've had now this cool breeze. It just keeps changing. And Yvonne going to be called out on the foot violation, leaving the box. Second out of the bottom of the third inning. Runner had to return to first base. Even if there had not been the violation, I guess it would have been the same. Runner on first, 2 outs. That's where we are. On Songo. Hits it hard, flip to second, force out there. Let's go to the fourth. It's 7-4 Mexico. That was a foul ball, and out is the call because as we know, there are no foul balls in Baseball 5. Everything's in play. Nice grab up the middle. Good defense from Kenya has been on display. Two quick outs. Mexico does have the lead, but no reason to rest. You want to keep bringing the pressure. 1, 2, 3. We have not had a lot of 3-ball innings in this matchup of Mexico and Kenya. Mexico currently ranked 6th in the world, Kenya 11th. That's according to the WBSC official Baseball 5 world rankings. All of a sudden, both defenses taking over. You saw how much spin that ball had, the way it came off the hand of Espinoza. This one could be a double play. Out at second, relay to first, safe at first. That one was close. And again, they get the force out at second. Mexico has found the spot they like on defense. Kenya, after getting off to a fast start offensively, struggling to get all the way there. They continue to trail by 3. Going right down to the wire in the second set. Time to put on a little padding on this lead. But that's a pop fly, and that's no trouble. The catch made. Two in a row on a line. Pretty funny the way this game has turned around. You know, the entire first set, all defense, or sorry, all offense. The beginning of the second set was all offense too. I think of these 11 runs, they were almost all scored at the first 2 innings. And then the defenses started to make some adjustments, started to change tactics, and here we are. Still at 7-4, where we've been for a while. Hard hit, off the hand, out of play, into the crowd, the big crowd that's gathered beyond the left field side wall. Yeah, all but one of the 11 runs in this game, or in this set, I should say, scored in the first 2 innings. It was 2-2 after the first. Mexico scored 4 in the top of the second. Kenya answered with 2 of their own in the bottom of the second. A run for Mexico in the top of the third. And that's going to do it for the top half of the 5th inning. Kenya coming to bat. Last chance here. They need 3 to tie it, 4 to walk off winners and force the third set. And that's very doable. We've just talked about how many runs have been put up in particular innings. This game's just crossed the 2-hour mark, or sorry, the 1-hour mark. And everybody's eager for the bottom half of the 5th to begin. Off the foot of Valenzuela and out of play. Lead-off single. Good start for Kenya. Past the dive at first. And this is what we're talking about. Kenya, a very potent offense. Tying run coming to the plate. Oh, the out call there, and on the replay you can see why. That replay crystal clear. The right call made. I didn't even see it live, but now a ground ball up the middle to score the run. And that's going to bring the tying run to the plate. It's a 7-5 game in the 5th. Mexico found some success getting the force out at second base last inning. Crowd trying to help them get 2 more outs. Ida, the batter for Kenya. Hits it hard towards first. Safe, and the runner goes to third. The tag not in time. Timeout called. Mexico's head coach, Jesus Sandoval, going to go out. Oh, and there's the missed opportunity. There's a chance to pick that up on the way to first base. Nothing coming easy to Mexico here in the bottom of the 5th. Is Kenya going to be on the verge of forcing a third set? Timeouts are allotted at 30 seconds. I do like the way that Mexico's used their entire roster every game. Some teams, they sort of stick with the same 5 players. Kenya's been one of those teams. Right side, that scores a run, and it moves the tying run to second. 7-6. Only 1 out. Got past 2 layers of defenders. You see Peter stomping on the plate. Can you tell how much this means to Kenya? On Songo, the windup, the drive, right side. Out at first base. Tying run at third. Bottom of the 5th inning. This is what it's all about. Mexico really doesn't have to worry about the runners. They just need to make 1 more play. That look says it all. Ready to spring off the third base bag. The batter, Valentine Mukoya. The crowd Getting up for it. Kenya ready. Valentine in motion. It's a pop fly, and that's a fair ball. It lands on the court, takes a hop over the wall. The game tied at 7. So at best for Mexico, we will go to extras. One more hit, and Kenya could walk off winners of this second set. What a time to try to the pop fly. The hardest, absolutely most difficult play to pull off as a batter, executed to perfection by Valentine Makoya. Everybody in the stadium was holding their breath, waiting to see where that ball would land. Now a drive up the middle, the underhand play to first. Let's go to the 6th. Extra innings in this quarterfinal playoff, set 2. Wow, we've got a good one on our hands. There's a look at Valentine. What guts it took to try the pop fly play. The way that extra innings work, as you see on your screen, we start with a runner on first. It's the player that made the last out last inning, so they go to first. And then we just play, pick up in the batting order and take it from there. If we get to another extra inning, if we get to a 7th inning, then you see 2 runners on, and so on and so forth. If you get to a 3rd extra inning, which I'm not sure has ever happened, you would start with the bases loaded. It's really hard to keep a team from scoring in extra innings. Kenya's taken their places defensively. Mexico will look to Ochoa to lead off. Espinosa is going to be the base runner, and here we go. First ball, well placed, but it takes a bounce to second. McCarrum for the out. Remember, this is just the second set, so if Kenya wins the set, we will play a third, a tiebreaker. If Mexico wins this second set, then it's over, and they'll advance to the semifinals and be guaranteed to slot in the medal game. A lot of the crowd has come to their feet for the extra innings. Espinosa is going to advance to second. Time being asked for, not yet granted. There it is. There's the out. And can Kenya keep Mexico from scoring here in the top of the 7th? They're 1 out away. Or top of the 6th, rather. That ball short of the line. Martinez couldn't clear the no-hit zone, so Kenya will come up with a runner on first, needing just 1 run to force a third set. Kenya, one of the top teams from the African continent. Everybody wants to make sure that the proper order is being followed, with the correct base runner put on first and the right batter coming up. This is awesome. This is what it's all about in the playoffs here at the 2025 WBSC Youth Baseball 5 World Cup. Craig Durham, happy to be with you on this Friday afternoon. A game that's already at 1 hour and 15 minutes, which is particularly long for any Baseball 5 contest. And crazy to think that we might be headed to another entire set. Peter made the last out of the 5th. Ida is now in position to hit. On the right side, that'll advance the runner, and that's all. Nice job by Martinez keeping her foot on the base. But you see, Kenya just did what Mexico couldn't do with their leadoff at bat. That was advance the runner. They waited until there was already an out to get that runner to second. You can just see new Baseball 5 fans being made all around the venue. People of all ages seeing this game in some cases for the first time and falling for it. And now there's 2 outs. Peter representing the run that would win this set. He's on third. Any kind of hit here, and Kenya's going to win this set. Otherwise, we will play a 7th inning. It would start with runners on first and second. Samuel Onsongo, what do you got? Left side, bobble, throw to first. Not in time. Kenya wins the second set, 8-7 in 6 innings. And so we will go to a tiebreaker, a third set here at Parque La Loma, Field 1. Congratulations to Kenya. They score 4 unanswered. And so we will go to the third set, where we'll wipe the slate clean, 0-0. We'll come back. We'll play 5 more innings. boy, has this been a thrilling matchup already. It is likely going to go down as the longest matchup of this entire Youth Baseball 5 World Cup, and it may go down as the best when it's all said and done. That was Axel Gonzalez leading off with a ball to short. Peter Muambo, typically very sure-handed, wasn't able to make the play, so Mexico has the leadoff runner aboard. That time the catch is made, and then the throw to first, a double play. You have to think that all the momentum right now favors Kenya. Really nice, calm play made. Bad base running by contrast. Sarmiento on first. How do we get here? Well, Mexico won the first set 12-7. Kenya won the second set 8-7. Will this prove to be a third set where you need more than 7 runs to win? I'm going to guess no. I'm going to think the defense is going to take over here. Nice one-hand play by Peter. His momentum was going left. He stuck that right arm out and made the backhand play. That was really well done. Oh, yeah, you saw all the momentum taking him away from that ball. And then he got it done. So a scoreless top of the first. Onsongo blasts it past third base. We've already seen one team that was featured in a medal game last year. That being France. They were I say last year, I mean the last Youth Baseball 5 World Cup 2 years ago. They were knocked out of the playoffs last night in a thriller against Turkey. That was only 2 sets. And now Mexico, who won the bronze medal in the last Youth Baseball 5 World Cup, has a chance to be knocked out here, which would guarantee at least 2 new medalists in the second edition of the Youth Baseball 5 World Cup. This crowd continues to show their passion for the new sport. And that's a fair ball. Nicely done. Kenya has 2 on and 1 out as they look to take a lead for the first time. It would be the very first time in this matchup that they have an early lead. Mexico led 1-0 after the first inning in the first set. Mexico led 2-0 after the top of the first in the second set. Good, smart defensive play by Mexico, allowing the Karam to take the ball to the second base bag. Ida with 2 outs, hits it to third. The throw, safe. It's dropped at first base. And Kenya's going to take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Ida putting a lot of spin on that ball. The throw, and Frias just didn't squeeze it. Where we're seeing the same players for Kenya in all 3 sets. Totally different groups for Mexico. And another run's coming home. Kenya 2, Mexico nothing. Momentum is important in Baseball 5, and I'm telling you right now, this Kenya team has all of it. And I think some of that comes from the Mexican coaching staff's decision to sit a lot of their top players in the second set. That's not new and different from how things went in every other game for Mexico so far, as we get a foot violation. That's a big, big boost for Mexico to get him out of the inning. Cliff had his foot cross the line there. But Mexico is sticking with what they've been doing through the first 2 days of this tournament. And that's rotating players in. They're using all 8 of their players. A lot of teams use 5 or 6, and that just shows you the depth of Mexico. But it does break the consistency in a big game like this. And now Frias. Hard line drive. Valentine knocks it down, picks it up. And Frias is aboard. Ida lunging for that ball. Throw to second on the bunt. Everybody's going to be safe. Is Frias all right? She's a little slow getting up on second. She's going to ask for time. Something didn't look quite right there. The way she went down, watch this. We've been talking about how she goes into that split all the time. And that she's being looked at by the training staff. Grimacing, but staying in the game. That's something else that you risk when you take your players out for the middle set when it winds up going 3. You know, everybody who's played a sport understands this. The body tightens up. You get up to speed, you bring it down, things get tight, and then to get up to full speed again, it can be tricky. But the bases are loaded. Things looking good for Mexico here. And it gets past the dive. 1 run scores. The throw home. 2-2. We're tied. And it goes out of play. Everybody's going to get an extra base. Well, that's how you swing the momentum pendulum back to your side. Crowd going crazy as the bases loaded set up. All 3 runs score. Armenta really blasted that ball. Kenya's got to take a deep breath, get back to what was going so well for them in the second set. Yeah, I thought that those players should not have been awarded those extra bases, and they should not have been. So take that run off the board. It's 2-2. That's the proper call. This party's really kicking into gear now, as you can tell. Still a good chance. Mexico will score 1, if not both of those runs. Out the call. It did not clear the no-hit zone. So Frias is going to bat. We'll see how she's feeling. Hits it right side. Oh, that's trouble for Kenya. 1 run in. And Frias is going to wind up at second. That'll get him going. Once it got past the lunge there, that's when you knew it was trouble. Up the middle, off the wall, that's an out. Mexico's going to have to send him back. It did not touch a Kenya player, despite what the Mexico team is contending. They're going to come out and argue that that touched a fingertip before it hit the wall. I didn't see it. Neither did Brian Maniecki, but did one of the other officials. I didn't see it up the middle there. The call's not going to be changed. A trip to the medal game, the medal round on the line. Keep in mind the winner of this one is going to have to go up against Cuba later. And Mexico is going to add another one as it's turning into a big top of the second inning. 4 runs in the top of the second for Mexico so far. Hot shot up the middle, out of play, 5-2 Mexico. This is a huge answer from a Mexico team that in the first inning didn't look like they were really engaged yet in this third set. Can't say that anymore. They have absolutely grabbed a hold of it, and now it's going to be on Kenya first to stop the damage, to get out of the inning. Play over at third, not in time. We're going to get a new ball involved. Out on the tag at third, overrunning the base there. And another player goes down hard for Kenya into that side wall. What part of Peter Mwambo has yet to feel a little bit of pain? Watch how hard he came charging after he took that ball off the wall. He goes hard, sees an opportunity to make a tag. There's the tag, the collision, and falling on top of his opponent. Didn't really see what it was specifically that was injured on that play. That is going to be the last out of the inning. But 5 runs for Mexico in the top of the second, and now all the concern is about the health Peter Mwambo. We've seen him down before. He's popped up every time. On the tag itself, you're seeing on the replay, maybe the runner did get the foot back on the bag safely. The right foot, the right shoe has come off for Peter. And he's not putting much weight on it as he gets helped off the field. And that'll force Kenya to go to the bench here in the decisive third set. We're going to step away for just a moment, come back and pick it up when Kenya comes to bat in the bottom of the second. We are ready to go again. Can a now short-handed Kenya team come back in front of the wild Mexico crowd that gets louder with every inning? And now we are in the 13th inning of this incredible Baseball 5 quarterfinal matchup. Typically, you think the longest a full game, a full 3-set game can go is 15 innings, but because the second set featured an extra inning, a 6th, we're going to play, we think, a minimum of 16 innings. Everybody wants to make sure the substitution's been handled properly. There's Mboya who's filling in, and that's a great start for the youngster, Alphonse Mboya, who has not gotten regular playing time. Might he be able to provide the spark? Read the ball really well, winds up on second. Yeah, there was no ball to tag with there for Armenta. A little bit more confusion regarding the batting order here. A look at the Mexican coaching staff. Again, you're going to give it absolutely everything you have here if you're these two teams, but what will be left to take on world number 1 Cuba after that? That's the big question. That ball short of the no-hit line. Ida is out. Onsongo with 2 away, he'll reach, but still stuck on second base is Mboya. After that double in his first at bat of the game. Very unlike Axel Gonzalez, by the way, to let one slip through the legs like that. Hard hit, right side, the sidearm shuffle. Coming home, there's a run for Kenya. And now 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. Things getting interesting. Look like Mexico might be able to get out of this bottom of the second unscathed, but Martinez, who's taken over for Frias at first. Frias has moved across the diamond to play third. Big spot for Valentine. There's the throw, the catch, the foot on the base, and a couple of runners left in scoring position for Kenya. Remember, it was Valentine who went to the pop-up behind second base to bring home the tying run in the second set. Couldn't come up with a big hit there. In this third, Frias will bat. Caught right off the deck. Nice play by Valentine. Now Gonzalez has his smash caught up the middle. If that one gets by, I think there's a chance it goes off or over the wall too. So not a great turn from Axel Gonzalez in the top of the third. Is Mexico going to go down 1-2-3? It's up to Yair Ochoa. Oh, that is a beauty by Ochoa, but so was the defensive play. Good hustle to beat it out. Armenta. Side retired. So the one hit with 2 outs is all that Mexico can manage as they let Kenya hang around. Bottom of the third, it's a 3-run game. Remember, Kenya went into the bottom of the fifth of the second set down by 3. They scored 3 times and then won it in extra innings in the 6th. Out off the wall. This is Peter Mwambo back in. That one hit the very bottom of the wall before it came back and hit the court. That was really close. And now a catch made by Frias. 2 gone. The defense beginning to take over. Remember my prediction before this set started that the defense would, or could at least, control it. Well, that has not panned out. Nice catch, Frias again, flopping on the deck. Helped up by her teammates. And there are some big smiles here in the crowd and on the field. That was an awesome play. 2 of them, really, by Frias back to back. And we're into the late stages of this third set. 6-3 Mexico, getting set to start the fourth. The most competitive of the 4 quarterfinal matchups that we've seen today. Chinese Taipei beat Japan in straight sets. Cuba beat Lithuania in straight sets. Venezuela also a straight set winner. Chinese Taipei and Venezuela had earned their way into the quarterfinals with first round byes. They skipped the knockout stage. Now Martinez has the ball one-handed and a nice play over to first for the out. It was Venezuela beating Turkey. We didn't name Turkey yet in the other quarterfinal game. I think Kenya might be running out of gas here. You can just see these players, their legs starting to give a little bit. On Songo, typically, I think, would take care of that ball up the middle. And then right there as well, just very tough to maintain this high level of play. We're nearing the 2-hour mark. I'm not sure I've ever seen a Baseball 5 game go 2 hours before. This could be a first. And a couple more errors from the Kenya team. Here's Ochoa, RBI opportunity. Hits it towards first, that'll bring home a run. And the lead back up to 4 for Mexico at 7-3. Oh, good get. Throw to first, winds up on Mexico's bench. Another run scores. The runner heads to second. 8-3 is Mexico pulling away. Simply have to stop it right here if you're Kenya. Martinez looks around, moves into motion, and it's going to be the underhand play to first this time to get out of the inning. Kenya's going to need to string together some hits here, but they start the fourth with a ground out. Stay tuned. In just over an hour, it'll be Chinese Taipei and Venezuela doing battle. The last game of the night will be the winner of this one against Cuba. That Chinese Taipei Venezuela one's going to be tight. Valentine trying to go back to the pop-up play that worked so well for her in the bottom of the fifth in the second set. That time Mexico ready for it. I think she really caught him off guard in the second set. But it just feels like now it's going to be too steep an uphill climb for Kenya. Though they do get some life with a two-out base runner. The diving grab by Martinez to send us to the fifth with a 5-run Mexico lead. That was a very tough play. Remember how the third inning ended? It was the opposite corner, the opposite hot corner, Frias diving. Now Martinez dives down to get it. And you may have noticed that is not a padded surface. That's why you see almost all the players wearing some sort of knee or shin guard. A look of concern on the Kenya bench. They realize now how tough it's going to be to come back. Yes, they erased a 3-run deficit in the fifth inning last set, but there's a big difference between down by 3 and down by 5, and there's the first out, especially because Mexico has seen it happen once. I'm not sure they're going to let it happen again. Nice play by Onsongo there. Gonzalez tagged out. He saw the ball slip by Ida and thought he could take an extra base. Not so. That was a really wicked hard throw from shortstop position. Peter Mwambo, pardon me. And another ball on the left side. That'll extend the top of the fifth. A foul. So here we go. Bottom of the fifth. It all comes down to this. Will Mexico be able to close out Kenya? Or will we be headed to extra innings again? A It just has to go one at a time. If you're Kenya, that's the mantra, and that's how you start, with one hit, one after another after another. 5 runs, not easy, but not impossible. Oh, nice play there. Good hands by Gonzalez, the underhand flip. 1 out, bottom of the 5th. Kenya really running out of time now. The crowd wants it. Valentine, the hitter. She'll take a look around. Hit it hard. Picked up on a hop. Safe. Great hustle from Valentine. There are some wild fans. You see the call there. Tie goes to the runner. The reaction from the Mexico bench. They have to be feeling all right, though. And that ball picked up, sent to third to get the lead runner for the out that put Mexico 1 away from guaranteed placement in the medal round. The fans staying into it. Kenya trying to slow this down as much as they can. Ida goes to work. And she grounds it to second, bobbled, and that's the out that guarantees Mexico a shot at another medal. The 2023 Youth Baseball 5 World Cup bronze medalists have a date with Cuba tonight for a chance to play in the championship. That was an all-time great Baseball 5 contest. Nearly 2 hours, 1 hour, 55 minutes. We'll check the record books. That may have been the longest Baseball 5 game in World Cup history. And congratulations to Mexico for outlasting a game Kenya squad that gave them everything they could, including the come-from-behind second set win that featured 4 unanswered runs. But it's Mexico in the end, 8-3, after winning the first set 12-7. Congratulations to Mexico. We'll take a short break and then be back on the air in just about an hour with our first semifinal matchup. That'll be played between Chinese Taipei and Venezuela, 2 unbeaten teams at this tournament. And that'll be good. Until then, Craig Durham saying so long. Thanks for being with us for this historically epic matchup from the WBSC Youth Baseball 5 World Cup.